Very good morning to you. Good morning. Would you send me a prayer with the fire that you're burning there? Are you burning for the beloved? Would you send me a prayer with the fire that you're holding there? Are you holding for the beloved? Beloved, beloved, and come. Oh, you are nothing but love, nothing but love, nothing but love. Beloved, beloved, and come. Know that you are nothing but love, nothing but love, nothing but love. And I am in love with you, I am in love with you always.
You can sing that with us.
I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. Would you sing it out? I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. Love, you are the archer. In my mind is your prey. Carry my heart, love. Carry my heart, love. Carry me all the way. Love, you are my ocean. No borders, no shores. Sweet love is our religion. Break my cup, shatter my cage, bring an end to the war. Oh, 'cause I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. Would you sing it? I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. I am in love with you, I am in love with you always. I am in love with you, I am in love with you always, beloved. Good morning, thank you.
Oh, that was lovely. Thank you to the band and our special musical guest, Ray Perlman. More from him later. Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa. I'm Chandra Farnsworth, a member of your Giving Intention team, and I'm happy to be with you today. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And thank you to our live stream viewers. We are grateful that you're sharing this time with us online. And live streamers, if you love watching us online, please consider sharing us with your friends by clicking the share button at the bottom of the screen. That helps us share our services and our community with the world. If you are new to the center and have questions about what is happening here, we have a website, CSLSR.org, filled with useful information. There you'll find our monthly bulletin by clicking the photo of the typewriter on our website. It contains everything happening throughout the month at our center. If you are new and wondering what we're all about, please pick up the blue welcome packet at the entrance to the social hall. That contains information about our teaching as well as what we have to offer as a community. We offer a youth and family program for infants and toddlers, elementary and middle schoolers, and teenagers. Our programs help your children and grandchildren get connected with our community and grow on their spiritual journey. Talk with our youth coordinator, Jennifer Caldwell, after service to learn more, or send an email to Jennifer at youth@cslsr.org. Also, our youth program is supported primarily by volunteer power. If you love children and would like to be part of their spiritual journey here at the center, please talk with Jennifer after the service today. Or if you don't have time to talk, leave your information for us at the info desk by filling out the volunteer interest sign-up sheet, and Jennifer will reach out to you. Thank you so much to all of our wonderful volunteers who consistently create a fun and safe environment for our children. Now, if you would please join me in speaking aloud our vision and mission for as a community. Behind the Christmas tree. The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling vision of a healthy, loving world, which is called the Global Vision. This vision inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teachings. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. We follow this vision through the 5 core spiritual practices of our teaching. Would you please read them with me? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. I know that somewhere between the music, meditation, prayer, practices, and Dr. Edwards' message today is exactly what you need to experience for the next step in your spiritual unfoldment. You are welcome here. Now please enjoy some music before our short time of contemplation and prayer.
As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is, it brings me to my knees. And I surrender, I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is, it brings me to my knees. I surrender, I am peace. I open to all that is, it brings me to my knees. I surrender, and I am peace.
There is but one life, one presence, one power, one force for good. This divine one, this divine whole that is wholeness itself. It is wholeness because it is truly all that there is. And this wholeness is a product of its unending, infinite love. I know that I am one with that. Just as each and every person here and online, we are all one with this divine presence, this divine love, this divine wholeness, this divine goodness that is ever the more making itself known as and through us. And so how grateful I am to know that that wholeness is present here now and that it is ever the more expanding, bringing forth experiences of wholeness. And I open my heart to that. I invite each and every heart here to open to that wholeness, to allow a little bit more of it in. I know that goodness is here, and I know that we are absolutely blessed by this divine presence, this divine love. And so I'm grateful to know that that love is expanding. It is making itself known through all of us as we connect, as we come together in community in support of this Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa. I am grateful for that. So grateful. With my gratitude, I release this word into the action of that law that always says yes. And I invite us all to say together, and so it is. Good morning. I'm Russ Laguerre. I'm your assistant minister here today, and I invite you to speak aloud our affirmation with me. I am made in the image of the divine, living a whole life. And so it is.
Shalom, 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 Yisrael, Adonai, Elyoenu, Adonai. Across the water with the wind we shall come, and carry here this fire. Across the earth, my friends, the fire will never die, the flame, the light, the way. For you, my darling child. Men that lost their way, men to find the way today, we say. Men and women, we are them. Ve'aftele recha kamocha, ve'aftele recha. When we shall live, again shall live. Oh yes, we shall live. Oh my end shall live. Shatem and we shall live. Again shall live. Oh yes, we shall live to sing for Yerushalem. Aliyah, Aliyah, Alleluia, we sing. Alleluia, 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 oh yeah. Shalom. Shatem, 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 shatem. Little sisters of the sun, hell, won't you come? Light your candles in the rain. We're in need of you here again. For we who remain, tell me who will light the way but you? For you are a light for all the world. Would you shine it now so true? Light your lamp upon the hills, ring them bells till all is well. Oh, and we shall live again, pray tell. Oh, we shall live again. Oh, we shall live. Oh, again shall live. Oh, yes, we shall live again. Now we shall live. Shut them and we shall live. Oh, again. Oh, yes, and we shall live to sing for Jerusalem. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. For the light that it brings we sing. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. We sing alleluia, 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 oh yeah. Bless your hearts, thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, gentlemen of the band, and thank you, Rafe. I was trying to remember where we were together last. I think it was Seattle. Yeah, it's been a while, and you're in for a treat because during the offering, Rafe is going to sing an Aramaic version of the Lord's Prayer for us. So that's something to look forward to, just in case the message is not good. Good morning. The author Alan Locos, in his book Through the Flames, he tells the story of surviving a deadly plane crash in which he was burned, disfigured by the burns, and how he went through a tremendous transformation as he was healing, and it brought so much insight and awareness into his life. He talks also in the book about his emerging awareness of the tremendous resiliency that is in the human experience and how this process of healing from his burns brought into his life a new appreciation of his inner resources, his inner light, his life, and how he learned to listen to that which was important and to care about that which matters. And at the back of the book, there's a section called Out of the Ashes, and it's a sort of collection of gems, like a little summary of good ideas throughout the book that he came to understand and integrate in his life as he went through this healing from his devastating burns into a state of wholeness. And one of the gems is this, and it may sound familiar to you. You are not alone. Everyone goes through difficulties, even unbearable times. Now, when I read that one, the power of it really touched me because it is often the case that difficult, unbearable times can cause a person to feel isolated and alone and overwhelmed, especially when physical pain is involved. And how easy it is to feel, well, courage slipping away and to lose track of that, what did he call it, resiliency of the human condition. And to forget, and this is a big one. This is a challenging one. And to forget to be grateful for what is working well at the same time. Now, that's what he said. That's not my words. That's what he said. After all that he had gone through, he became convinced of the power of gratitude as a pathway to healing into wholeness. And so I asked myself, why do I forget to be grateful? Well, I don't like pain, physical or emotional. And what I've learned from pain is that it can be very disorienting, even in small amounts. And what I've learned is that it's very important and also very difficult to stay present during those experiences and to notice, if possible, how disorienting the pull of pain is, the pull away from the center. And to do what I can to come back to that center as swiftly as possible. And it's easy to talk about when you're not in pain. Now, the author suggests that gratitude can be an ally for us in this process of coming back to center. And he calls gratitude the expression of our awakened soul. I love that, and I've been thinking deeply about it. Gratitude is my ally. Gratitude is an expression of my awakened self. And gratitude is something that I can tune into to help me on my journey back to my center. Here are some of his words. This is not theory, philosophy, or religious dogma. It is my own hard-earned personal experience. I've been there with you. 1/3 of my body was seriously burned, and some of it all of the way to the bone. I know pain. I have been in the fire and I have come through the flames. Now, he was not expected to live, but he did. And his message to the world became, I am healing and you can too. Whew. It's humbling to read that when I think of how easy it is for me to get flustered by little things in life. I'm not even talking about the big things. I mean, the big things in life can knock me right off my center. You know, I'm really diving into the Palestine-Israeli conflict right now to educate myself, and it's knocking me off my center the more I read about it. Now, tragic world events ought to get my attention and disturb me into action, because being a spiritual being does not mean being heartless or isolated. But I'm also looking, inspired by Alan's book, I'm also looking at how long am I going to stay down when I'm knocked down. And so I learned from Alan's writing that during those times of being down, gratitude can be my instrument, my ally, and I can use it to forge a pathway to getting back up to face the world. And I truly do believe that. In fact, that was what I talked about at our Thanksgiving Eve service. And if you weren't here, it's available online on our YouTube channel. You can go back and see that. And also next year, just as a side note, we're bringing back the Unexpected Abundance Club. I'll tell you about that next year. Basically what it is, it's a practice of gently noticing and being grateful for unexpected acts of receiving. We're going to do that. So get back to my admission. I admit that I can get knocked off of my center even by low-level inconveniences. Really, harsh words. Not getting my way. You know, I'm not even talking about physical pain, the kind that Alan went through. I'm just noticing that I can let little things get to me. And when I am knocked off my center, what that means to me is that I forget my inner resources, my resiliency, my spiritual nature. I forget what lives in me. And that is why I'm at the Center for Spiritual Living, to learn to stay focused and connected to that part of my being that makes me resilient, that makes me kind-hearted, from which my wholeness comes. I'll tell you a story, a once upon a time story. I loaned a friend a huge amount of money once, The way I approach loans is I consider that loan to be done. I don't sit around waiting for payment. I don't loan money if I can't. So I loaned the money and went about my business, and the friend finally came back and repaid the loan and was so excited to be able to do it, wanted to make a big splash about it, and it repaid the entire loan in cash. A huge amount of money, Well, it was fun while it happened, and I tucked the cash into my wallet and went shopping. At Oliver's, And I must have dropped my wallet, because when I got back to the center, it was gone. I was completely knocked off my center, And I started telling myself stories about how opportunistic people are, And I thought, well, I might as well go back to all of us and ask about it. But, there was no hope in me. I wasn't expecting a thing, and the tape running in my head was the bitter disappointment for being so stupid and not being mindful enough to pay attention to something so important. Do you know what I'm talking about? There it was running. And I went back to the manager and said, I may have dropped my wallet here. And he turned around, he looked at me, deadpan, and he said, we've been waiting for you. And he handed me the wallet, and not a thing was displaced or missing. And in just a few minutes, I had moved from ecstatic to devastated and back to thrilled and up and down. And I thought to myself, what would it have taken for me to stay a little more on my center? Because I was thinking about Alan's experience, and he's like relentlessly staying in his inner life. And I wondered what it would have taken for me in that moment to have been a little more brave, or to expect the best in the experience of my life, or even to maybe make a little more generous assumptions about people. What would it have taken for me to do a little bit better at staying on my center? Because I'd like to be a person who doesn't let things like setbacks or even losses and failures get the better of me that much. I'd like to be the sort of person who does not let mistakes or offenses take over my mind. I mean, don't get me wrong, disappointment is natural, even healthy. However, I don't want to let those experiences take on a power that they really ought not to have, to the point where they take me out of the awareness of what lives in me. I want to honor my feelings, and I want to get back up as quickly as possible. Now, as I've been talking today, I've been talking about my center. That's the phrase I've been using. And sometimes I say my core. Sometimes I say the essence of my being. And sometimes I say the truth of my being. Sometimes I say spirit within. And sometimes I say the self within, which I really like. And all of these phrases are talking to that place that is inside me as it is inside you, that is the seat of compassionate calm, creativity and curiosity, that is connected and courageous and clear. Our theme this month is about it. Our theme is wholeness. And we're talking about the wholeness that comes from that place within, whatever we call it. And our focus this month is how to be more in sync with that self within, listening to it, sensing it, being aware of it, so that it can guide us both through the hard times and the joyous times of life, through the challenges and the celebrations, living in its wholeness. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, he described the self within using more flowery language like this. The spark which burns at the center of our own soul is caught from the living eternal flame of spirit. Now, he gave us an important word to chew on when we think of the self within, and that word is eternal, meaning permanent. Now, what could it mean to have something in me that is permanent? It's going to mean different things to different people. Now, to me, it means the self within is always present. It wasn't created by some good deed that I did. And I can't go anywhere to get away from it. It remains available. And I always need a moment to take that in. When I first heard about this self within and its permanent availability, this idea became a game changer in my life. It changed my perspective. I started to imagine a part of me calmly watching as the world unfolded. And it helped me to drop some of my anxious thinking. It helped me to be present for whatever it was that was before me, more and more. And it helped me to really see that everything in life is temporary, finite, delicate, changing. And this awareness did not upset me. It enlivened me to be more in love with the fragile nature of being, to really love this planet, this body, this nature, these connections, the relationships we have, our families, our nation, the world, to breathe it in. Now, even though I am convinced that there is a self within me as there is in you, one that is permanent and present, it apparently is the truth that I can behave in a way that goes in the opposite direction of what that self is. Amazing. Instead of being compassionate, I can be selfish. Instead of being curious about the world, I can be narrow-minded if I want to. Instead of being creative, I can be, I can self-numb and not deal with anything. Instead of being connected, I can isolate into a me world. Instead of being calm, I can be chaotic. So spiritual living to me then is the practice of waking up to the self within and then mindfully syncing with it, and so that when I am bumped off my center, I can turn to it and return as swiftly as I can. So my question is, what can help come back and stay on center? And I think my answer is practice. Practice can. And what in this case is practice? Well, practice can mean regularly tuning in, turning to the self within, and then asking it as if it were another person inside of you. What would you have me do today? How would you have me be today? That reveals your nature. What would you have me say? How often should we do this? Every single day? No, better than that. Better than daily. 3 times a day. No. 5. No, it's not enough to practice so frequently that the self becomes the filter through which I see the world, so that none can separate us. Oh, but I remember myself saying, oh, that's too much. Who's got time for that? And I love what Alan writes in response. He says, even a momentary pause for practice, even a momentary pause can help you and me see more clearly. So let us think about ways that we can do this practice. Well, this is how I do it. You probably have your own way. When I feel I'm getting off my center, if I have the awareness to do so, I'll take a breath. I mean a real breath, like this. And I'll pause at the top. And as I exhale, I'll try to sense and feel the presence of the self within, its calmness. And then I don't rush. I'll take another breath, a real breath, like this. And pause at the top. And then exhale. And I imagine as I exhale that I am, and I invite you to think about that you are the self, the part inside. You are the part that is compassionate and curious and creative and courageous. And then you can imagine what I do next. I take a breath, a real breath, like this. And I pause at the top. And then as I exhale, sometimes I talk to myself and I say silently, there is a self within me that is the seat of my calm, my confidence, and my clarity. And typically, as I practice this way, a sense of wholeness reveals itself to me that was always present. You know, when you practice like this, it inevitably leads to another realization. That self within, whatever you call it, is the place where we intersect with each other and with the world and with creation. And it is the place from which wholeness comes. I trust that. I trust when I practice regularly like this, and it seems to be the case, that I'm going to stumble on this realization of our shared reality. And as I do that and make a habit of it, it's going to be more and more difficult for me to be knocked off of my center, and it's going to be more and more difficult for me to be tempted to go to war in my mind. And it's going to be more and more difficult for me to make excuses for being unkind. Because I know, when I practice, I know that at all times, eternally, I have another option. I could go with the self. I could go with the self. I could do that. Another gem from the author at the back of the book, he talks about generosity, and we can adapt it for our purposes today. He says, there are many reasons not to be generous, but none of them brings happiness. I can adapt that and say there are many reasons not to be compassionate. There are many reasons not to care. There are many reasons not to love. but none of them leads to happiness or freedom or wholeness. What a powerful idea. Such a game changer. And an invitation to freedom, freedom of expression, to creativity. It inspires me to want to live my life as the person I want to be. I had a friend who was going through a divorce, and it was a very bitter separation. And he visited a wise therapist who said to him, when this is all over, and you're looking back at what happened, you'll want to be able to be proud of the person you were going through it. And I thought about that because I'd like to add to that. And if during the process you practice tuning in and sinking to the self within, it will help you achieve that. It can help you be the person you truly are. So I invite you this week to consider, who are you? More than that, I invite you to consider the self within and try on this idea that you are it, that you are the place within you that is curious and calm, and connected and compassionate and confident. And I invite you this week to regularly think of that self within and imagine that it is on permanent standby, waiting. And then take a breath, a real breath, like this. And pause at the top. And as you exhale, slowly ask, as if talking to a person within, what would you have me do today? I invite you to join me in a moment of inner reflection as we turn within to prayer. To recognize and sense and feel that which we heard in the opening prayer. A spirit, a source of all that is permanent, was not created, just exists, just is. And to try on and feel this idea that I am, just as we are, part of its creation. And as creation, I acknowledge I have within me creativity, as we all do. And to tune into that today, to use it, to open up my mind and my heart, my thoughts and my words to being its expression in this world. And I have confidence and trust that as we practice together this way, that the awareness and the conviction of our shared reality and sense of togetherness and wholeness comes from that. And that the awareness of that self within not only will but does now guide us into actions, thoughts, and activities that lift not only ourselves up, but all of creation to its spiritual magnificence. With a heart filled with gratitude, I release this word into that aspect of the divine that we call the law. I invite you to seal it with me by saying, and so it is. And I invite you to take a breath, a real breath, like this, and to sigh. As we use that breath to make the transition to the part of our service where we support our service through our contributions. If you have not yet completed your giving intention form, we won't judge you. We just welcome you to visit us at the information table and help us complete. We have had quite a good response, but we know that there are some Well, you know I was a straggler, so when I say we've got some stragglers, I'm including me in the bunch. So please do help us plan for next year by completing your giving intention form. And thank you again for the words of appreciation and for the notes and for the gifts. Some people, especially those online, send in their gifts in the mail with beautiful notes. And I'm so touched by the time it takes a person to write something these days. My goodness gracious me. Thank you for that. And not only am I appreciative, I have to share with you that those gestures of appreciation and support, they fuel us, the staff and the leadership and the volunteers, to keep on going. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Some of you are using text to give. It's right there behind the Christmas tree, or that one over there. And other people are using the more conventional forms of contribution, which are listed on our website. God. Won't the ushers please stand to receive the gift? And won't you please take your gift in your hand and say after me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift and please enjoy the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic by Rafe.
Amor, 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 le passion mayo, ne kodo, amor le busha mayo, ne kodo shmo. Havlan lokmadas on konanye mono osh boklon haben wakden ela otan nimisho mi viso meltot de la
Thank you, Rafe. That was beautiful. And if you'd like to say hello to Rafe and meet him, he's going to be in the bookstore right in between services. And you can also take home his music or get on his mailing list. So see him in the bookstore. So and I have a very important announcement. Our beloved spiritual support minister, Reverend Scioto Bell, is being ordained today. This is a sacred and special time for all ministers in our movement, where they affirm their commitment to being a minister for life. We would love to have you join us at 2 p.m. today for her official ordination, and to help us celebrate her at a reception after. You also have the option of bringing delicious finger food to share at the party. Hope we'll see you there. And we have quite a few special events in December. The first is our holiday ornament making party on Sunday the 10th, which is next week, from 10 to 11, where you can get crafty and make holiday ornaments that will hang on our solstice tree. We also invite you to bring your favorite holiday cookie to share. Between now and December 17th, we will be collecting toiletries to be distributed to the mentally disabled. And you may have seen the bin on the way in today. There's a, oh, sorry, I can't read this. Yeah, so there's a basket in the hallway that you can make your deposits there between now and December 17th. And on the day before winter solstice, Wednesday, December 20th, we will host our Wednesday evening solstice service. Come celebrate the longest night of the year with warmth and anticipation in our social hall. Our solstice tree, adorned with those handmade ornaments from our ornament-making party, will stand as a beacon of the returning light, symbolizing our collective hope for brighter days ahead. And of course, we will have freshly baked bread and a special message from Dr. Edward. Next, you are invited to join us at our annual Christmas Eve candle lighting service. You have 3 options to join: in person at 6 p.m. or 8 p.m., or online at 6 p.m. This service is a long-standing tradition, not just at our center, but for all of Santa Rosa. Bring your friends and your family to light a candle and hear wonderful music from Christopher Fritchie and the Center Choir. And of course, Dr. Edward will have a special Christmas message for us. And the day after, you can grab your hot cocoa and join Reverend Tara Steele on Zoom at 10 a.m. in your best Christmas PJs for our sweet Christmas Day gathering. January is quickly approaching, and you can help us kick off 2024 by donating colorful magazines and craft supplies for our Vision Your Life workshop that is happening on Sunday, January 7th at 1 p.m. In this workshop, we will vision together for our individual and collective 2024. We will also make vision boards for 2024, which is where your crafty donations come in. If you have magazines or supplies you can donate, please drop them off at the info desk. We are looking forward to a fun and visionary workshop with you. You can sign up for this workshop at our website, on our website, by clicking the vision photo. Once a month on a Saturday morning, the folks of Project Sleepwarm are busy sewing quilts and sleeping bags, which are donated to unsheltered folks in the area. Although most of our supplies are graciously donated by you, our community, thank you, they must purchase the batting that provides the warmth. You can help them cover the cost of that by joining their raffle for the beautiful, cozy, wintry lap quilt. It is hanging in the social hall where you can see it close up. Check it out. Today, raffle tickets are on sale in the bookstore, and the drawing will take place on Christmas Eve. And finally, because our regular Sunday service lands on Christmas Day, we are only hosting a single in-person service at 11 a.m. There will not be a 9 a.m. service, so please mark your calendars accordingly so you don't arrive at 9. And now I wanted to read a letter from our December nonprofit partner. They're visiting with us today. And the name of the organization is Sonoma County Acts of Kindness, Unsheltered Community Outreach. Dear Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa community members, we are so honored to be featured as your 2023 nonprofit partner. Sonoma County Acts of Kindness is an all-volunteer nonprofit, and our mission is to provide basic necessities, resources, and advocacy to enrich the well-being of the homeless and the financially underprivileged in our community. We provide direct street outreach, and we deliver meals 7 days a week, rain or shine. As many of our volunteers know, because they were homeless at one time themselves, it's hard to get back on your feet when you're cold and hungry. Through the generosity of the members of the Center for Spiritual Living and other community members, we do not receive funding from the government. We have been able to provide daily meals and water, tents, backpacks, sleeping bags, warm blankets, shoes, clothing, hygiene supplies, and first aid supplies, and much more to the thousands of unsheltered individuals. We are also able to host large events for Friendsgiving and Christmas, where we provide hot holiday dinner, gifts, and supplies to about 150 of our unsheltered friends. Our focus is on creating warm, friendly, and real relationships with our unsheltered friends and neighbors, to laugh and cry with them, to support them, to connect them to services, and to help them know that they matter because we're there every day. During the pandemic, we were the only group doing regular outreach, and we became connected to so many of the service providers in the community. Today, members of Sonoma County Acts of Kindness are on various county boards, committees, and work groups, and we're working to bring the voices of our unsheltered neighbors to the government agencies that are working to address our homeless crisis. Your support has helped us to continue to support and nurture our unsheltered friends, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much to all the members of the Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa for supporting our unsheltered neighbors and for our work at Sonoma County Acts of Kindness. With gratefulness, Heather Jackson, President and Volunteer Coordinator. And you can greet and meet Heather out in the social hall in between the services. So say hello. They're doing wonderful work. So that's all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chandra, and thank you, Reverend Russ, for the opening prayer, and thank you for the beautiful music today, and thank you for being here. Hey, you heard me mention that we're bringing back the tradition of handing flowers out to first-time visitors. When visitors come here, many years ago, we used to take a flower to them. We started with roses, then we shifted to carnations, then we stopped for a long time. It's coming back in January, but guess what? That means we need a more robust usher team. So if you're one of those people who applauded right now, guess what? This is your opportunity to go to the info table and say, yeah, I'd like to sign up for, I don't know, one Sunday, a morning service. See what options are for you to help us welcome our visitors, and we can do that together. Nobody's going to do it for us. We got to do it together. So think about that, okay? It's very easy. Come on, you're here already. Might as well hand out flowers. And now it's time for us to close our service. If there's something that is incomplete in you, or if you cried yourself to sleep last night, please don't go home that way. Take a moment to go to the back of the sanctuary or to go online to Zoom and speak to the host there. They will connect you with a prayer practitioner who will listen to you and custom make a spiritual mind treatment, which means an affirmative prayer for you. Don't go home without taking advantage of this beautiful, powerful spiritual support. It's an assist. It's a spiritual vitamin. Take advantage of it. Sometimes I think it's our community's best kept secret that prayer is available. Who'd have thought? Go and take advantage of it. You will feel better knowing that someone has got your back, spiritually speaking. And now please stand as you are able and say, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, sustained, and inspired by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. And let us close with song.
I release, I let go, I let the Spirit fund my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah, I release, I let go, I let the Spirit fund my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here